BetterHelp AppTherapist suggests conversion therapy to a gay man. A 22-year-old gay client of the mental health app BetterHelp said that he was told to turn straight to get along with his family by a therapist. BetterHelp is an online platform that links clients to therapists who provide therapy through text messages and phone calls. The company advertises itself as a solution for people who live in remote areas or can't afford therapy at market rates. Caleb Hill of Tennessee said that he turned to BetterHelp when his parent kicked him out for being gay. He said he was connected to a therapist, Jeffrey Lambert, who told him he'd have to choose between being gay or having a relationship with his family, even though Hill wrote on his intake form that he wanted an LGBTQ plus therapist. Hill told the Wall Street Journal, he said, either you sacrifice your family or you sacrifice being gay, end quote. Hill said that he worried the therapist would try conducting conversion therapy on him. After the session, he wrote the therapist an email explaining why he couldn't continue therapy, saying, quote, I finally opened the door of the prison I built up inside, and the thought of going back kills me, end quote. He said that he avoided therapy for a long time after that session because he was worried about finding another similar therapist. And this therapist needs to have any professional accreditation. I'm not saying state license. I'm saying professional accreditations ordered by, instituted by private organizations. He needs to have every stinking one of them revoked, because the last time I looked, homosexuality was removed from the textbooks in the 70s, and I knew a gentleman back in the day who was part of that.
While that is something that could be explored, we also don't know how this information was delivered to the client. So while it could have come off as more of an aggressive thing, it could have also been, I'm seeing what you're telling me and I'm understanding it, and from what I'm perceiving of this situation, you only really have these two options, because sometimes in certain situations, those are the only two options we have.
Yeah, you know, Evan, I agree. I think it's hard to gauge the intention in this case. The one thing that popped up, and I actually just showed it, that made a note, that popped up for me is that in the way that it's quoted, this person said you have two options. You can choose to be with your family, or you can choose to be gay. And at the end of the day, it's not being gay is not a choice, right? That's right. And any mental health specialist should never tell you to hide who you are.
Absolutely. And BetterHelp also has a history of controversy. They have a history of unfair pricing and data sharing, and most recently, BetterHelp was enlisted by rapper Travis Scott to help victims after the Stampede tragedy at his Astroworld Music Festival, which actually backfired on Scott, as it gave the appearance that he was profiting from other people's traumas.
Oh, wow. Wow. Did not know this. Well. Ridiculously harmful situation. But
that being said, I'm glad I was lucky that, and you're asking me to go back into my ancient history, but you know, when I needed a therapist back in the 90s, there was an organization in New York, and again, I forget the name of it, but they managed to link me with a gay therapist. And I think SunServe serves a similar function down here, but you know, I understand that in Tennessee, you may not be so lucky.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, I think there are tremendous benefits to telehealth, right? Telemental health. But at the end of the day, the person on the other side of that communication needs to be informed and needs to be able to provide quality care.
LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.